Welcome to the Seattle Video Voters Guide, your chance to hear directly from the candidates on the general election ballot. This is a vote-by-mail election. Instead of going to a polling place, ballots will be sent to all registered voters. In this edition, you'll hear from the candidates who will appear on the general election ballot for Seattle Mayor, Seattle City Attorney, Seattle City Council, Seattle Propositions Number 1 and 2, and Seattle School Board Director. All offices included in this guide are nonpartisan. Each of the statements is up to 2 minutes long and unedited. The candidates appear on your screen in the same order as they will on the ballot. First up, the office of Seattle Mayor. The Mayor of the City of Seattle is the Chief Executive Officer of the city and is responsible for enforcing city and state law, city contracts, and maintaining order. The mayor appoints department heads subject to city council approval and manages the executive branch of city government. The mayor has the authority to veto ordinances passed by the city council, and the council may override such vetoes by a 2/3 majority vote. The mayor is elected for a 4-year term.
I'm Katie Wilson, and I'm running for Seattle Mayor. As founder and executive director of the Transit Riders Union, for 14 years, I've been building powerful coalitions to win major victories that benefit working families. Higher minimum wages and stronger protections for renters in cities around King County. The Orca Lift low-income fare program, which tens of thousands of transit riders use every day. The Jumpstart tax on wealthy corporations, which prevented devastating service cuts during the pandemic. Now I'm running for mayor because I know we can do better. We deserve a mayor's office that leads with integrity and collaboration, not one that's embroiled in scandal and beholden to powerful groups. Working families in our city are struggling with the high cost of rent, childcare, and groceries. We need a mayor who takes the cost of living crisis seriously. Voters have twice supported social housing by a landslide. Seattle deserves a mayor who will work to make it successful, not undermine it. More people are homeless than ever before, and we have less shelter now than we did 4 years ago. As your mayor, I will create more emergency housing and deepen investments in addiction treatment and mental health care. We can do better on public safety. Right now, Seattle is not following best practices to prevent and respond to gun violence. And we must do more to protect residents against attacks from the Trump administration and make sure we can deliver the services people depend on, even if we lose federal funding. Seattle can have affordable and abundant housing, great public spaces, high-quality schools, world-class mass transit, and vibrant neighborhoods. You shouldn't need a 6-figure income to feel at home here. This is your city, a city that we can build together. With your vote, we can have a true champion for working families and a coalition builder in the mayor's office. I'm proud to be endorsed by the King County Democrats, UAW 4121, State Senator Rebecca Saldana, and many more trusted organizations and community leaders. I would be honored to have your vote in this race.
With your support, we will continue overcoming challenges and building a brighter, more equitable future. Since 2022, we've helped thousands of vulnerable people access housing and shelter, supporting an 80% reduction in unauthorized tent encampments citywide. Crime rates are lower. We're rebuilding police staffing, and care department responses trained in de-escalation are assisting people in crisis. We've made unprecedented investments in affordable housing, climate action, transit, and transportation. Let's keep working together for a stronger, united Seattle. I'm a Seattle Public Schools graduate and a University of Washington graduate, a lifelong Seattle resident and a father deeply committed to the diversity and dynamism of our city. With your vote, I'll continue to focus on outcomes and make no excuses and seek bold, transformative change. I'm committed to action on housing, directing over $1 billion to create thousands of affordable homes and improve supportive housing, availability, and staffing. I've eliminated barriers to housing construction and passed nation-leading green building standards. I will continue working for affordable communities while connecting unsheltered neighbors with resources. I'll keep improving public safety, having delivered on promises to establish an unarmed behavioral health response unit, hire more and more diverse officers, reduce response times, and crack down on drug trafficking. A lifelong advocate for youth, I'm committed to reducing gun violence in our schools and communities. Moving forward, we will accelerate programs that keep us safe and healthy. I will continue protecting Seattle, challenging Trump, his administration, his efforts to disrupt Seattle's stance as a welcoming city for immigrants, LGBTQ, and BIPOC communities. I'll ensure our rights and laws are respected. I ask for your vote.
Seattle City Attorney. The city attorney is the head of the law department and appoints all assistant city attorneys, city prosecutors, and other department staff. The city attorney supervises and controls litigation in which the city or any of its departments is a party. The city attorney also provides legal counsel to all city departments and to elected and appointed officials. The city attorney is elected for a 4-year term.
My name is Erica Evans, and I'm running to be your next Seattle City Attorney. Right now, our city is under attack from the Trump administration. Civil rights are being rolled back, reproductive freedom is threatened, and injustice is rising. Our most vulnerable neighbors are left unprotected, while our Republican city attorney fails to act with urgency. I know what it means to be failed by a system. I moved 8 times before I was 12 and grew up on Section 8 housing. Strong union jobs helped my family climb out of poverty and thrive. I've spent my career fighting for justice, prosecuting violent crimes, taking on fentanyl traffickers and hate crimes, and protecting workers from wage theft. Because if justice doesn't protect the most vulnerable, it's not justice at all. I left the Department of Justice when I was told to report on colleagues for doing diversity work. I refuse to be part of a system that's dismantling civil rights because I was trained to fight for them. My grandfather raised his fist in the 1968 Olympic Games to protest injustice, and I carry that same courage every single day. Now, I'm bringing that fight home. I'll restore a new community court, end delays in domestic violence and DUI prosecutions, and balance rehabilitation with accountability to restore lives and peace of mind. Seattle needs a city attorney who knows the laws and won't back down. I'll defend our right to belong, our right to make decisions about our bodies, and our right to clean air and water, and our right to live with safety and dignity. I'm proud to be endorsed by Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, State Attorney General Nick Brown, County Prosecutor Lisa Mannion, Council members Alexis Mercedes Rink, Gurmai Zahalai, and Teresa Mosqueda, MLK labor, Democratic organizations, and civil rights champions across our state. Our city deserves an attorney who will fight for all of us. My name is Erica Evans, and I'm asking for your vote. Thank you.
Hello, I'm your City Attorney, Ann Davison. Since being elected in 2021, I've led the fight to make our city safer. Now I'm leading the fight against unlawful actions by the Trump administration, and I will use the full weight of my office to keep our community safe from his threats. I first ran for office because our laws reflect our values and should apply to all of us equally, from the White House to Seattle's most troubled areas. As the first woman and mom to serve as city attorney, I fought against human trafficking on Aurora that disproportionately targets women and girls. I've worked to eliminate open-air drug markets threatening neighborhoods and created a drug prosecution alternative to give those struggling with addiction a pathway to treatment. To reduce gun violence, I proposed common-sense rules for after-hours venues to curb late-night shootings. I've also fought for the environment and consumers, winning $160 million from corporate polluters dumping toxic chemicals into the Duwamish River. And I sued Kia and Hyundai for needlessly exposing consumers to auto theft. I brought transparency and accountability by creating a groundbreaking data program to show the public how our criminal justice system works, bringing unprecedented visibility. And I led the effort to push the state legislature to fix the toxicology lab backlog for DUIs to improve roadway safety. We cannot go back to being a city that did not enforce its own laws and allowed public spaces to become unsafe and inaccessible. I offer proven leadership, pragmatic solutions, and a promise to keep fighting for Seattle's future. I'm endorsed by former Democratic Governors Gregoire and Locke, Democratic Congressman Adam Smith, King County Prosecutor Lisa Mannion, Pierce County Prosecutor Mary Robnett, Seattle Building and Construction Trades Unions, Seattle Firefighters Union, and a majority of the City Council. I'm running for re-election because we still have more work to do. I'm Ann Davison, and I'm asking for your vote to ensure our city's improvements on safety and livability continue.
Seattle City Council. The Seattle City Council is the legislative branch of government. Members set the city's direction by enacting ordinances and passing resolutions. The council authorizes expenditures, adopts regulations, levies taxes, controls the finances and property of the city, and performs many related legislative tasks. Of the 9 city council positions, 2, Position 8 and Position 9, are at large, representing the entire city for a term of 4 years. Positions 1 through 7 each represent different districts of the city. This year, the 2 at-large council positions are up for election. There is also a special election for Seattle City Council District 2, which covers the southeast portion of Seattle. The candidate elected to this position will serve the remaining 2 years of the term and be on the ballot again in 2027. All voters in Seattle can vote in both the at-large city council races. Only voters in District 2 can vote in the special election for Seattle City Council District 2.
Hi, my name's Eddie Lynn, and I'm running because everyone, and I mean every single person in our community, deserves to feel safe, to have an affordable home, a good job, and good schools for our kids. And our communities from the Chinatown International District to Rainier Beach deserve a strong voice at City Hall, someone who listens and responds to your needs. Before going to law school at age 30, I worked as a bike messenger at a bakery, a bookstore, and as a secretary, sometimes working 2 jobs at once. I know that one job should be enough, and that's why we need to lower the cost of living and support good wages for workers. And I'll fight to tax wealthy corporations and the ultra-rich to meet our essential needs. As a lawyer for the Office of Housing, I've helped fund thousands of affordable homes. My top priority will be lowering housing costs and increasing housing choices so we can all thrive. And I'm the only candidate with years of experience in affordable housing. I'm proudly married to a public school teacher and union leader and raised our sons on Beacon Hill attending local public schools. And as the son of a Taiwanese immigrant, I'm appalled by Trump's heartless attacks. I will stand with you to defend our immigrant and LGBTQIA+ communities. I also believe in a comprehensive approach to public safety. We're experiencing record levels of youth gun violence. We have to invest more in programs that get guns off the streets and that give our youth hope for their future. And we should scale up programs that bring social workers to more 911 calls so our police can focus on our most urgent public safety needs. Finally, I'm not beholden to any special interests and will focus solely on representing you, the voters of District 2. I'd be honored to earn your vote and look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
I'm Adonis Ducksworth, and I'm running for you for District 2. Thank you for this opportunity to run to represent the community that raised me. As your council member, I will address public safety, homelessness, and create housing that is affordable for working families. I'm here to work for you, and as you get to know me, you'll learn 3 things about me. I'm all about our families, our kids, and our communities. Families. I was raised on Beacon Hill by a single mother who worked 2 jobs. I met my wife when we were at Mercer Middle School. Her dad was a carpenter, and her mom ran a midwifery school at El Centro de la Raza. Growing up, our families were able to thrive in this community, and I want your family to thrive here too. Kids, we have 2 daughters, ages 10 and 15. I want my kids to be safe, and I want their friends to be safe. They should be safe when they walk to school. They should be safe when they take the bus downtown. They should be safe when they go to the park. Community, I've dedicated my professional career to public service and community engagement. My career has been about bringing people into the conversation rather than excluding them. I successfully rebuilt 23rd Avenue. We did this by bringing a diverse group of people, businesses, and community leaders together, and we stopped displacement during a time of intense gentrification, all by bringing people together. This is how I get things done. Whether you've lived here your whole life, you're new to the area, or you're thinking about making South Seattle your permanent home, you want a district that you can be proud of. So we need to change the narrative. We need to change the narrative that we have the most dangerous roads in the most dangerous neighborhoods. To change the narrative about South Seattle means we need to solve the problems. So how do we do this? Well, we can't do it alone. We need to work together. We need to work together to stop stop the gun violence. We need to work together to stop people from speeding. We need to work together to build housing that people can afford. And we need to work together to give our Black and brown children other opportunities besides turning to the streets. So if you want a district with the safest streets and the most vibrant neighborhoods, then let's work together. And I ask for your vote. I'm Adonis Ducksworth. I'm running for you for District 2.
I'm Alexis Mercedes Rink. I'm a renter and someone who takes the bus to work every day. I went from waiting tables next to the Space Needle to working on policy at the UW Tower to now serving you on Seattle City Council, fighting for a city that works for all of us, not just the wealthy few. And in my work across communities, I've gained a reputation for bringing people together around solutions and making things happen. I got my master's degree at the UW, and I've worked across 39 cities and with over 100 different organizations on housing and health of our communities. And since joining council, I've partnered with our state delegation in pushing for new statewide progressive revenue options and successfully restoring funding for the Recovery Navigator program. I was the only member of council to campaign for and secure progressive revenue for union-built social housing, and I've sponsored new legislation to support more affordable housing development. In times of national strife, Seattle must stand as a beacon of hope and resilience. As we confront a MAGA regime determined to attack our rights and protect the wealthy at the expense of working people, I've spearheaded our city's fight against this fascist power grab, creating and chairing a new council committee focused on combating these federal policy changes. But I was brought to this work because of my upbringing. I am proudly raised by my grandparents. I was born to teenagers caught in cycles of gang violence, substance use disorder, and homelessness. But I was given the tools I needed to heal thanks to great teachers and afternoons at the Boys and Girls Club. And I am here today as a living testament to when we invest in young people, regardless of their beginnings, we can change generations. We had a record-breaking win last year, and we're continuing to unite Seattle. With nearly 70 endorsements, this is the campaign Planned Parenthood trusts will protect reproductive health care access. This is the campaign King County Democrats trusts is going to uphold core democratic values. And this is the campaign that unionized healthcare workers, maritime workers, bus drivers trusts is going to work tirelessly for our working families. And now I'm asking for your support so we can fight together against the politics of fascism and build a Seattle that works for all of us.
Seattle can be a world-class city, an inspiring example of a city where every public space is clean, safe, and welcoming. I'm Rachel Savage, and I'm running for Seattle City Council. The current city council has failed us. They've given our taxes to nonprofits, and all we have to show for it is ever more addicted and mentally ill people living on the streets of our city. The unpredictable nature of those suffering from addiction and mental illness has threatened the safety and harmed the dignity of everyone who lives, works, and visits Seattle. As a business owner and resident, I have suffered these effects firsthand. I have seen how preventable street conditions destroy businesses, neighborhoods, and our tax base. As an addict who has had to learn how to live drug-free for 35 years and helped others do the same, I know we must create new, effective long-term residential treatment programs. We can no longer allow addicts to camp in squalor on the streets or die behind closed doors in city-run buildings. That's why I launched an initiative to end public camping, not to punish those who are addicted and on the streets, but to get them into detox, treatment, and shelter. As your city council member, I will fight to amend our drug law to offer a clear choice of jail or treatment to those who are committing crimes, to rebuild our system of law enforcement, to oppose raising taxes that fund free apartments for addicts and instead build new, long-term residential treatment centers away from our neighborhoods and using only existing city and federal funding, and to close the wage versus rent gap by directly subsidizing studio apartments for minimum wage workers. I represent a new movement of citizens who are done waiting for the council to act. We can be a city of responsibility, compassion, and opportunity. Vote Savage for a change.
Seattle needs council leadership working on urgent citywide priorities, not personal agendas. I'm Dionne Foster, and I'll bring focus and experience to address housing affordability, support people in crisis, and keep our city safe and welcoming for all. My commitment to service is rooted in my career as a city policy analyst, philanthropic leader, social work educator, and from raising my family here in Seattle. I've personally experienced the challenges facing too many families, working multiple jobs, unaffordable rents, and difficulty securing childcare. And I've seen firsthand how government investment can create stability for families like mine. I've worked citywide to advance housing and climate action, and statewide to fund affordable childcare through a capital gains tax. On City Council, I'll fight for bold, progressive action to build a stronger Seattle. We need more affordable homes in Seattle. I'll prioritize getting people indoors with shelter, treatment, and permanent housing. I'll end council inaction that delays needed housing construction, and I'll promote homeownership, prevent displacement, and back voter-approved social housing options so all Seattleites have access to stable, affordable homes. I've called 911 for both urgent and non-emergency situations, and I want to ensure every call gets the right response. I will support effective, accountable policing, advance gender equity in law enforcement, and expand our care team. I'll invest in youth engagement, behavioral health, gun violence prevention, and community-driven safety solutions. I will prioritize leadership on climate through advancing sustainable transportation, and I will fight for workers, including gig workers, by supporting our unions, fair pay, and safe workplace conditions. I'm the only candidate for this seat endorsed by Democratic Party organizations, Planned Parenthood, MLK Labor, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, and elected leaders representing Seattle at every level. I ask for your vote.
Donald Trump has fundamentally changed Seattle's political landscape, and the stakes could not be higher. Across the country, he's targeting cities like ours, attacking our most vulnerable residents, our climate protections, our schools, and our way of life. The choice in this race is clear. This election is about protecting our city against an external threat, and I've proven I can take on tough fights and win them. Just think about Seattle 4 years ago. Playfields weren't safe for kids, downtown was dead, and public spaces from Ballard to Rainier Beach were covered in needles and tents. I stepped up and forced action. I reversed years of police staffing losses, but public safety is not just about hiring more cops. I put treatment at the center of the city's agenda because I know firsthand what recovery means, and I'm not going to watch people die on our streets. I took on entrenched interests to bring workforce housing to the Stadium District and to fix our broken permitting system, all to lower the cost of housing construction. I won't let Trump destroy our city, and I won't settle for the status quo either. Over $500 million of housing funds are sitting unused, so I'm pushing the Office of Housing to bring homes online faster. We've provided new tools to improve public safety, but there's still too much crime and gun violence. So I pushed the mayor's office, SPD, and every city department to deliver results, not excuses. Now is not the time for an inexperienced leader. My opponent brings promises, but we can't afford on-the-job training when everything we care about is on the line. What Seattle needs is a fighter, not complacency. That's the choice, business as usual, or real leadership that can stand up to Trump and make progress on our greatest challenges. That's why I'm endorsed by the Seattle Times, firefighters, building trades unions, and Democratic leaders. I'm Sarah Nelson, and I've got your back.
Seattle Proposition 1, Families, Education, Preschool, and Promise Levy. Seattle Proposition 1 would replace an expiring education levy. If approved, the Seattle Prop 1 levy is expected to raise a maximum of $1,258,300,000 over 6 years. Seattle Proposition 1 would fund childcare and preschool, academic, health, and safety supports for K-12 students, college and job readiness, and other college and career supports as described in Seattle Ordinance Number 127238. Beginning in 2026, the first year of this proposition's collection, the tax rate for this levy for each property owner would be approximately 72 cents per $1,000 of assessed value. This levy includes a property tax exemption for senior citizens and disabled persons.
Hello, I'm Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell. Every Seattle child deserves a strong start in life, safe and healthy schools, and a pathway to college or a career. That's why we're asking you to renew and expand our Families, Education, Preschool, and Promise Levy, Proposition 1. Now, with Prop 1, we'll double support for affordable childcare, helping 1,400 families and stabilizing the childcare workforce. We will ensure that our youngest learners are ready for kindergarten and future success. We'll keep kids healthy with school-based health clinics in 34 schools, providing medical care, behavioral health support, and safe, nurturing after-school and summer programs. And we'll invest in college and career readiness by continuing our Seattle Promise, which is 2 years of free tuition at Seattle colleges for every school graduate, while also expanding pathways to skilled trades and family wage jobs. That's why I'm proud to stand with the entire City Council, childcare workers, educators, health advocates, and businesses, all united in support of Prop 1. So please join us in voting yes on Prop 1, because every child in every neighborhood deserves the opportunity to thrive. Thank you.
Seattle's Families, Education, Preschool, and Promise Levy promised higher student achievement. But the results? They've gone in the opposite direction. Academic performance has stagnated or even declined. Math and reading proficiency in Seattle public schools remains below pre-pandemic levels, despite millions in levy funding. Even where the FEPP programs are in place, outcomes haven't improved. And while funds were poured into mental health and wellness, student depression, anxiety, and absenteeism have only gotten worse. And the cost? For the median Seattle homeowner, this levy means around $654 every year, on top of the crushing cost of living in one of America's most unaffordable cities. More money hasn't delivered better results. Oversight is lacking, accountability is missing, and Seattle families are left footing the bill. Seattle deserves better outcomes, not higher taxes for failed programs. This November, vote no on the FEPP levy.
Seattle Proposition 2, changes to the business and occupation tax. Seattle Proposition 2, if approved, would adjust the business and occupation tax rates paid by businesses in Seattle. Businesses with annual gross receipts of less than $2 million would be exempt from the B&O tax. The rates for the remaining businesses would increase for 6 years, beginning in 2026. In 2033, the rates would drop from that high to an amount which is slightly higher than the current 2025 rate. Nonprofit children's hospitals and cancer centers would not have to pay the tax increase. Proceeds from the increased tax rate would fund existing investments for food access, gender-based violence, small businesses, emergency shelter, homelessness prevention, workers' rights and protections, public health, workforce development, job readiness training, arts and culture, and immigrant and refugee services. Up to $30 million could be used to administer the program and mitigate certain federal funding reductions or federal policy changes. For more information on Seattle Proposition 2, see Seattle Ordinance 127259.
Hello, I'm Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell. Now, Seattle voters have a chance this November to make our tax code more fair, support small businesses, and protect vital city services by voting yes on Proposition 2. Prop 2 shifts a modest portion of our business and occupation tax onto the city's largest corporations, reducing taxes for 90% of Seattle employers and eliminating them entirely for more than 75% of our smallest neighborhood businesses. That means real relief for struggling retailers and restaurants, helping to stabilize prices and protect local jobs. This measure also safeguards funding for housing, public safety, and social services, programs working families depend on, at a time when Trump's cuts threatens to devastate our communities. Without this support, our homelessness and overdose crises would only worsen. Prop 2 is accountable, with audits required for all funds. Tax relief for small businesses is permanent, while other provisions sunset in 2033 to ensure flexibility as our city grows. That's why Prop 2 is endorsed by employers, women and minority-owned businesses, unions, and community leaders Together, we can build a fairer tax system and protect the services Seattle families rely on. Please join me in voting yes on Proposition 2. Thank you.
Seattle School Board. The Seattle School Board adopts the policies that govern Seattle Public Schools. The board provides direction for the educational program. The 7 directors represent different areas of the city. Directors are nonpartisan and serve 4-year terms. 4 of the 7 district seats are on the ballot this year: Districts 2, 4, 5, and 7. In the primary, only those who live in the school board district that was on the ballot were eligible to vote for candidates in that district. The top 2 vote-getters in each of those districts advance to the general election. At the general election, all voters in Seattle will have the opportunity to vote for one candidate from each district.
Hello, Seattle. I'm Kathleen Smith, a parent of 2 and candidate for School Board Director in District 2. I bring a deep appreciation for education and expertise in data science to this role. But I'm not just a data nerd. I bring strong progressive values aiming to help our public institutions serve our city. First off, to support our schools and the educators working with our kids, we must advocate for more progressive revenue. Next, let's talk about inequity in our schools. To address inequity, we need to start with the problem. Some schools do not have enough resources. Last year's school closure plan seemed to start with the plan, but didn't have the data to justify how it would solve the problem. We need to invest in under-resourced neighborhood schools and increase access to option schools. Every family deserves an appealing local school, but different students have different needs. To quote a tech slogan, we need to make easy things easy and hard things possible. Access to basic education should be easy, and for families and students that need more specialized services, we need to make their journey possible. We must invest in safety and support for our students. Students fought for and deserve city funding for mental health, and I am excited to partner with the city in providing safe infrastructure, transit, and affordable housing. I want a Seattle where working families are supported. Families need schools, and with dropping enrollment, our schools need Seattle families. Finally, we must listen to Seattle's diverse communities and the student voices clearly expressing their needs. Data isn't just numbers. Good data tells a story, and we need to listen to and use real data to advance real equity in SPS. I am proudly endorsed by the Public Educators Union, Seattle Education Association, The Stranger, King County Democrats, the Alliance for Gun Responsibility, and Tech for Housing. I would be honored to have your support this November.
My name is Joe Mizrahi, and I'm honored to serve as your District 4 representative on the Seattle School Board. As a first-generation American, a parent of 3 Seattle public school students, and a longtime labor leader, I bring a deep commitment to educational equity, fiscal responsibility, and community-centered leadership. I was appointed during a time of significant budget challenges, and I've drawn on my years of experience managing multi-million-dollar budgets to advocate for responsible fiscal strategies that prioritize student learning and stability. When dramatic school closures were proposed, I worked with my colleagues and families and staff to navigate these challenges, helping to prevent devastating disruptions for thousands of students and families. My upbringing, along with my parents' experience as special education teachers, taught me the value of inclusive education and the importance of fighting for every child's right to succeed. I understand the real-life consequences of underfunded schools, and I'm committed to expanding access to high-quality education and support programs across Seattle. In my first months on the board, I've worked to strengthen transparency and rebuild trust. I prioritize open communication with families, educators, and school communities, and I've listened deeply to what our students need to thrive. I'm committed to continuing that work, addressing our budget crisis with equity-focused solutions, building stronger partnerships between schools and families, expanding inclusive education, and advocating for the funding that our students deserve. Together, we can build a district where every child has the tools to learn, grow, and reach their full potential. I respectfully ask for your vote to continue serving our students and communities. I'm proud to be endorsed by the 36th and 46th and the King County Democrats, Governor Ferguson, Congresswoman Jayapal, and every state legislator in the 43rd and 36th District. I'm also proud to have the sole endorsement of the King County Labor Council, along with community groups and unions representing thousands of working families. Go to my website, joeforschools.com, for more information and to see my full list of endorsements.
Hello, my name is Dr. Laura Marie Rivera, and I'm running for Seattle School Board because our children deserve schools that see their potential, honor their identities, and prepare them for every opportunity ahead. I am a mother, a nonprofit professional, an advocate, and most relevantly, an educator. That distinction matters. This year, there are 4 school board director positions on the ballot, and I'm the only candidate with direct classroom experience. We all remember how troubling it was when Donald Trump convened a meeting on women's health without a single woman in the room. The same principle applies here. It is simply unacceptable to shape the future of our schools without an educator at the table. School boards make critical decisions that affect everything from curriculum and funding to teacher support and student well-being. Without an educator's experience, those decisions run the real risk of being disconnected from reality. Just as we would expect doctors to be part of conversations about healthcare, we should expect educators to be part of conversations about education. My experience ensures our policies are practical, equitable, and rooted in what actually works for kids. Each child comes with unique strengths and challenges and hopes and dreams. We must build a system that honors them all. This means art, sports, music, dual language immersion, advanced math, hands-on technical programs, special education, and student wellness, with particular care for those furthest from educational justice. We literally have the future of our society sitting in our classrooms today. A vote for me is a vote for the students. I'm proudly endorsed by community leaders and elected officials, educators and the Teachers Union, progressive organizations, and Vote Mama Lobby. They know I bring a culturally inclusive approach and a record of showing up when it matters most. Vote Laura Marie Rivera for Seattle School Board Director 4. Thank you for your support, and remember to get out the vote.
Public education transformed my life. I started as an English as a second language student with a hearing disability. Thanks to dedicated teachers, I'm the first woman in my family to earn a college degree. As a current Seattle Public Schools parent, finance professional, and former school board director, I'm stepping up to serve at a time when the district faces major decisions about a new superintendent, a $100 million budget deficit, and its future direction. I'll bring experienced leadership, budgeting and finance expertise, and deep roots in school communities to navigate challenges with accountability and a needed focus on student outcomes. I'm ready to work for you and our 49,000 students from day one. Here's what I'll do. Bring clarity and oversight to our budget, making sure our public money is spent equitably and effectively for our 49,000 students. Safeguard schools from cuts and arbitrary closure plans, and put the district on a plan to long-term financial stability. Set a vision for a diverse portfolio of programs in schools to meet all students' needs, particularly in special education and also advanced learning, career pathways, ethnic studies, and language immersion. Prioritize student well-being and safety by investing in mental health, gun violence prevention, and safety at schools. Stand up to Trump's attacks on our schools, LGBTQ+ students, and families like mine who came to this country to seek education and opportunity. A successful school district is a whole community effort, and I'm proud to be endorsed by the King County Democrats, Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson, Mayor Bruce Harrell, City Council Member Joy Hollingsworth, County Council Member Teresa Mosqueda, current and former school board presidents and directors, students, parents, educators, and community leaders. I would be honored to earn your support and vote.
I'm Janice White, and I'm running for the Seattle School Board. Seattle schools are in a financial crisis. I'm running to challenge the status quo, hold leadership accountable, and bring people together to find solutions. I will fight for transparent budgeting with a focus on early, meaningful, and frequent engagement with impacted communities. Difficult budget decisions must be made. However, school closures and ending specialized learning programs will only contribute to declining enrollment and exacerbate, not solve, our budget issues. I will work to protect our schools and essential programs that keep as many kids as possible in our public school system. As a parent of students with disabilities, I have seen firsthand how Seattle Public Schools has failed to meet the needs of all students, regardless of their background or abilities. Teachers, staff, and administrators want to do the right thing, but they need stronger guidance and support. Many students, especially those from marginalized backgrounds like our LGBTQ and BIPOC kids, are facing high rates of anxiety, depression, and serious mental health challenges. I'll work to live up to our promises and fully fund more school counselors while also addressing the negative impact of social media use in classrooms. The Seattle Times endorsed our campaign, citing my deep knowledge of special education and the law, areas of expertise the school board needs badly. Whether it was as board president of the Seattle Special Education PTSA or founding a nonprofit organization to increase inclusion and belonging for disabled youth, I have fought for Seattle's students and families for more than 2 decades. Together, we can make tough choices that center community input and support all students to achieve success. I would be honored to earn your vote.
Hi, I'm Carol Rava, and I'm running for Seattle School Board District 7, which covers the southeast part of the city. I have a lifelong commitment to improving education. I started volunteer tutoring in high school, went on to get my master's in education policy, and have spent more than 25 years working on issues of educational quality, access, and equity, both in K-12 and higher education nonprofits. Improving education for those furthest from educational justice is my life's work. This is not just about my own kids, but I am a parent of 3 and step-parent to 2, all 5 of whom attend or attended Seattle Public Schools. I am running for Seattle School Board because Seattle schools are not working for too many, and I know we can do better. Enrollment has declined by about 10% in the last 5 years. And worse, the percent of 5-year-olds enrolling in Seattle Public Schools has dropped 25% over the past decade. The district's own research shows why. Parents are dissatisfied with academics and safety. Only 44% of 10th graders are on track for college-level math, and student safety remains a top concern. At my son's Garfield High School graduation this spring, we mourned 2 classmates who were killed in the past year, one on the steps of the campus. I know we can do better. Every student deserves access to academic excellence, and every student deserves to feel safe in and around their schools. To restore confidence in this city's schools, we need school board members who understand the issues of large school districts, who have overseen large budgets, who have both leadership and senior management experience. This is what I bring, the professional expertise and decades-long commitment to the issues that matter most. I will work to create the excellent, safe schools that this city deserves. I hope I can earn your vote. Please find more out about me at electcarolrava.com.
We deserve a school district that families can trust. I'm running to hold leadership accountable, protect equitable, high-achievement programs, ensure classroom inclusivity, and support every student's unique needs. I've seen firsthand how instability and out-of-touch leadership hurts our kids. When the district proposed closing dozens of schools, including where my children attend, I organized hundreds of families to push back. I co-founded the $1 Billion Bake Sale, an organization dedicated to fully funding every school statewide, and developed a detailed data analysis to better inform legislators and local officials about how enrollment manipulation has exacerbated our understaffing crisis. We are facing real challenges, from enrollment declines and budget cuts to a lack of clear answers, all of which are eroding confidence that the district is serving our kids. We need real transparency of the entire district budget, not only at the individual school level. Our district must foster authentic community partnerships and make decisions that better reflect the needs of all students, regardless of means or ability. As a public school parent who's been deeply involved in our community issues for over a decade, I'm ready to make progress on day one. I will fight to expand mental health services, keep guns out of our schools, restore equitable advanced learning, expand access to student-centered programs, and direct resources to classrooms instead of bureaucratic district office overspending. I am deeply invested in my Rainier Beach and South Seattle community. Whether it's volunteering at Seattle Children's, fundraising for the Rainier Valley Food Bank, or organizing neighborhood kids' clothing swaps, I will continue to push to ensure that my community's concerns are heard and supported. I am proud to be endorsed by the Seattle Education Association, the 37th, 43rd, and 32nd Legislative Democrats, the Alliance for Gun Responsibility, and more.
You've just seen all the video statements recorded by the candidates that appear on the Seattle general election ballots. For King County and Port of Seattle candidates and issues, watch the King County version of the Video Voters Guide. Ballots will be mailed to all registered voters on October 15th. For questions regarding voter registration, your ballot, or answers to other election-related questions, visit the King County Elections website at www.kingcounty.gov/elections or call 206-296-VOTE. All ballots must be returned on or before November 4th. You can return your ballot to a ballot drop box, no stamp required. Ballots returned to a drop box must be delivered by 8 p.m. Election Day, November 4th. Or you can return your ballot by mail. You do not need a stamp to return your ballot by mail. Just drop your completed signed ballot in a USPS mailbox. It must be postmarked by Election Day, November 4th. We recommend mailing your ballot by October 31st to make sure it gets postmarked in time. Or you can go to a vote center. King County vote centers are available to voters who need assistance completing their ballot. Trained staff and specialized equipment are available to help voters with disabilities cast a private, independent ballot. To find a vote center or a drop box in King County, visit the King County Elections website at www.kingcounty.gov/elections or call 206-296-VOTE. That's 206-296-8683. Thanks for joining us. This program is a collaboration of the Seattle Ethics and Elections Commission, the Seattle Channel, and King County TV. We'd like to hear from you about the Video Voters Guide. To comment on this guide, please call 206-684-8500 or email ethicsandelections@seattle.gov.